Welcome back, everyone, and I'm here again with Jeff Grant, SBR contributor, and today we're going to be looking at that college football game between Notre Dame Fighting Irish and Navy Midshipmen. How you doing this morning, Jeff?
This is quite a rivalry, Dax, and I always love handicapping rivalry games. Notre Dame and Navy have played like 80 or more straight years. I forget the exact number. It's been dominated by Notre Dame historically, but Navy's made it more competitive, winning 3 of the last 7 meetings. So really excited to talk about this game.
All right, so first we got to start pointing out that was a bad beat for Notre Dame last week against the defending national champ, Florida State. They ended that game 31-27, and I'm definitely sure that they're going to do everything possible to try to bounce back on this game. Now, knowing this, my man, do you think that us sports bettors should what should we expect to see from the Fighting Irish this Saturday?
Well, you look at that loss against Florida State. It was an end zone play that got called an offensive pass interference, which was really debatable. I'm not really worried about that loss as a handicapper, as they did have a week off after that game and then going on a neutral site against a rival here. So I do expect Brian Kelly to have his team ready to go. Also, Notre Dame, everybody's talking about how they got shafted in the first release of the college football playoff rankings, landing in the number 10 spot. That doesn't matter. And Brian Kelly can say that because what we've seen since the beginning of time with the BCS rankings and now even the first installment of this, there's so much football to be played, and the teams above Notre Dame have a lot of chances of potentially losing games. There's a lot of those teams above them that play each other. So what will happen if Notre Dame takes care of business, which is really what they need to do? They have a great strength of schedule. Number 1 to start the season, they play the likes of Arizona State, Northwestern, Louisville, and end it with USC. So all they have to do is win out, and I guarantee Notre Dame will be in one of those top 4 spots.
All right, man, but this game ain't going to be easy. I mean, Navy right now, they're ranking 2nd nationally by averaging about 352.3 rushing yards per game. Now, with that stat in mind, Jeff, do you think the Midshipmen's triple option attack will be able to move the ball against the Fighting Irish at FedEx Field, man?
Coming into the season, I like Navy a lot. They had 15 returning starters, 8 on offense, 7 on defense. The problem is you really don't know what you're going to get with them right now because they've only played 1 tough game, and that game was against Ohio State at the beginning of the year. They ended up losing that game as Ohio State was starting, of course, J.T. Barrett in his first start. Went down early in that game and then just overpowered the Midshipmen, and they haven't played anybody since. Everybody's going to talk about quarterback Keenan Reynolds, who led the nation in rushing touchdowns a season ago, and he came off a 251-yard rushing performance last week against San Jose State. Problem is, San Jose State isn't Notre Dame's defense, and Reynolds has made a living in that game against San Jose State they played the last couple years. So I'm really unsure what I'm going to get because Navy's won back-to-back games 2 times this season, but they've lost 20 straight games against Notre Dame when the Fighting Irish play the matchup in the top 10. That's exactly where Notre Dame is right now.
All right, man. So in the past 2 videos that we did earlier today, you took 2 total bets. Are we going to go in that same route for this one?
I think you read me correctly in the fact that we're not going to go the total here. We're going to go with an ATS pick. I actually just wagered on this game because it's hit the key number of 14. I'm not scared of the fact that Notre Dame attracts a lot of attention. They're getting over 60% of the spread bets. But what I look at here is the fact that Notre Dame is 10-5 straight up following a loss under Brian Kelly. Kelly's teams over the course of his coaching career, 16-2 following a bye week. Quarterback Everett Golson is playing tremendous offensive football, averaging 319.3 total yards of offense. Another important factor in why this team will be motivated is wide receiver Corey Robinson, who has basically become Golson's main target offensively. His dad, of course, you'll remember, Dax, is David Robinson, the Admiral, who made his name collegiately on the basketball hardcourt during his time at Navy. And finally, Dax, in closing my pick article that will be on sportsbookreview.com is the fact that I mentioned those stats with Brian Kelly. He's 4-0 straight up and against the spread off a regular season loss and having a regular season bye over his coaching career, covering those games by 16 points. So I'm going to lay the points with the Fighting Irish over the Midshipmen.
All right, man. Yeah, you definitely got to love those stats there, and it definitely shows that it's going to be a winning pick, man. Jeff, as always, I thank you very much for all your valuable insights, and I look forward to talking more football again tomorrow, man.
Thank you.
No problem. For SBR Picks, this is Dax Floyd.
The SBR network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.